In the top stories, government to present budget focused on jobs, investment and climate resilience, NDP sweeps to power in St. Vincent and the Grenadines election, and Donald Trump says U.S. to pause migration from third world countries. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Major Newscast. Today is Friday, the 28th day of November, and I am Jasmine Thomas. First on the local scene. The government of St. Christopher and Nevis is preparing to unveil its budget for the fiscal year 2026 in December 2025 with focused investments in key areas. During the roundtable press engagement on November 25, Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, shared that the budget will continue to drive the transformation to a sustainable island state agenda with a strong focus on increasing employment, stimulating investment and enhancing climate adaptation. We are looking at the matters of cost of living and food security and how we can continue to strengthen that, said Dr. Drew. Jobs, what are we going to do to ensure that there are more jobs with the investment opportunities, which we are going to strengthen, and how we can secure our people with respect to the scourge of climate change. He added that addressing climate change also requires strengthening the Federation's public infrastructure to better withstand the increasing intensity and frequency of severe hurricanes and other related weather systems. The devastation in Jamaica following the intense Category 5 Hurricane Melissa underscores the urgent need to adopt modern construction methods for housing and the new smart hospital and placing utility lines underground. That will be the spirit in which the budget this year will be written, the Prime Minister stated. More details will be shared on Budget Day, which is expected to be announced in the coming weeks. The Prime Minister, the Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, has expressed his satisfaction with the significant progress being made under the government's housing program and the broader construction boom taking place across the Federation. Speaking during the November 25 edition of his roundtable program, Prime Minister Drew highlighted that new homes are now under construction in several communities, including Stapleton, Gillard's Meadow, Otlis Village in Newtown, and in Harry Phipps, Halfway Tree, with additional projects about to commence in Race Course, Newton Ground, and Sandy Point, in addition to the National Housing Initiative. Prime Minister Drew highlighted several major infrastructure and development projects that are advancing across the Federation, including the new Bastia High School, the Symbol of Love Museum, and the monuments at Fort Thomas and the Ritz-Carlton Hotel development. Prime Minister Drew commended the pace of national development, emphasizing that these projects reflect his government's continued commitment to improving the lives of citizens, creating jobs, and strengthening resilience across St. Christopher and Nevis. A delegation of citizens from St. Kitts and Nevis recently traveled to Abuja, Nigeria, on a special invitation extended by Miss Aisha Maina, renowned Nigerian business leader and Chief Executive Officer of Aquarian Consult Limited. The visit marked a significant step toward deepening bilateral cooperation in the creative industries, agribusiness, technology, and youth development. Ms. Maina's invitation provided a unique opportunity for participants from St. Christopher and Nevis to engage directly with Nigerian innovators, cultural practitioners, educators, policy influencers, and private sector leaders through a series of high-level meetings, site visits, and cultural exchanges. The delegation explored avenues to strengthen partnership and expand the commercial and creative linkages between both nations. This landmark engagement comes on the heels of the government of St. Christopher and Nevis securing visa-free access to Nigeria, a major diplomatic accomplishment enhancing mobility and deepening South-South cooperation. It also follows the recent signing of instrumental memoranda of understanding (MOUs) aimed at advancing food security, cultural exchange, creative economy development, and youth empowerment across both nations. Leading the delegation was the Honorable Samuel Duggins, Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable Jeffrey Hanley, Speaker of the National Assembly, the Honorable Lanine Blanchett, Permanent Secretary Delreen Taylor, members of the farming and Rastafari community, business sector, creative sector, youth and community leaders, and the Honorable Samuel Duggins stated, "Our visit to Abuja, made possible through the special invitation of Ms. Aisha Maina, has opened meaningful pathways for collaboration in trade, technology, youth advancement, and the creative industries. These engagements strengthen our cultural and economic ties with Nigeria and create new opportunities for our young people, our farmers, and our creatives." And now for a look at news on the regional scene. St. Vincent and the Grenadines has entered a new political era after the New Democratic Party clinched victory in the 2025 general election, ending the Unity Labour Party 24-year grip on power. Dr. Godwin Friday, the NDP leader, is said to become the country's 7th prime minister since independence in 1979. His win comes after a closely fought race against long-serving outgoing Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, who had been seeking an unprecedented 6th consecutive term in office. The NDP secured an early lead with 11 parliamentary seats, sealing the party's return to government after a quarter-century in opposition. The result brings a dramatic close to Gonsalves' political era. At 79, he remains one of the Caribbean's most enduring political figures, having first taken office in 2001 and becoming the longest-serving head of government in CARICOM. On the international scene, Donald Trump has said he will permanently pause migration to the U.S. from all third world countries. The U.S. president wrote in a Truth Social post that this would allow the U.S. system to fully recover from policies that had eroded the gains and living conditions of many Americans. He did not provide details of his plan or name which countries might be affected. His comments came a day after an Afghan national was accused of shooting 2 members of the National Guard in Washington, D.C., one of whom has died. Trump suggested the incident underlined a major national security threat. The president's subsequent announcements represent a further toughening of his stance on immigration. And now for a look at the weather. Present weather across St. Kitts and Nevis: fair skies. Winds a gentle breeze of 12 miles per hour from an easterly direction. Seas are 1.2 to 1.8 meters or 4 to 6 feet. Weather forecast for St. Kitts and Nevis: partly cloudy skies with brief cloudy spells and a 60% or moderate chance of brief passing showers. Weather tonight: fair to partly cloudy skies with a 40% or moderate chance of a brief passing overnight shower. Sunset this evening is set to be at around 25 minutes before 6, and the sunrise tomorrow morning, 6:23. That brings us to the end of the Midday Major Newscast. Join us this evening for these stories and more. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jasmine Thomas. God bless you.